Hello everyone. Right, so just going to change the lighting. So tonight I am in charge of babysitting for my editor. So naturally, this has given me some free time whilst they're eating. So what I wanted to do tonight, guys, as quickly as possible. I've also got cats all around me as well, so like a challenge. Right, so Niantic, state of Pokemon Go, because it is a state. My thoughts and opinions on what on earth is going on, what has happened in the last 7 years. So Pokemon Go came out in 2016. Wow. July 2016 was when it came out. Started off as a very, very basic game. Lots and lots of crashing, because the one thing that Niantic consistently do, sorry about the sun, one thing Niantic seem to consistently do is underestimate their player base. So when that came out, there was a massive uptake in audience and participation. Since then, it has kind of plateaued a bit. But one catalyst that I do want to talk about quickly is COVID. So Pokemon Go and Niantic and the Pokemon Company, their mission, their objective has always been the same. Let people explore the world, enjoy all of the natural beauty, explore parks and gardens and areas that you probably wouldn't have gone to in the past. Unfortunately, and this is going to get a bit negative, I'm not sure how much I can record because there's quite a lot going on around me. Case in point. There we go, that's a view right there. Sorry, I'm trying my best. We work with what we've got here at ABP. So, case in point is the ability to pivot Pokemon Go and create remote raid passes. So that was a huge change that Niantic had to suddenly think of overnight. Bit of a knee-jerk reaction. As I've mentioned in the previous video about remote raids and the price hike, remote raids were fantastic. They were a very, very welcome addition to the game, and actually, to be honest, if I'm really thinking about it now, they helped Pokemon Go survive. Because without people being able to go outside and coordinate raids in the real world, remote raiding was the next best thing. Unfortunately, what's happened now is, bear with me. Sorry about that, guys. Babysitting, as I mentioned. Right, so Niantic are making a lot of mistakes at the moment, and I apologise if that's a bit of a generalisation, and it's also a bit of a segue from what I was talking about previously. I pressed pause. Who knows what I was talking about, as always. Right, so remote raid passes are essential. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think that ultimately that's going to be the name of this video. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why are Niantic taking away something that's benefited the game so much? And what I mean by taking it away, I don't actually mean they're taking it out of the game. But what they have done, they've made it very difficult. They've hiked the price of a single and a triple remote raid pass pack. They have decreased in-person raids as a result of that. So that makes me think that it's not financial. There must be something else at play here that's caused them to make this decision. And unfortunately, as I've mentioned several times, that word, I think it might kill the game. I think there's too many people now that have adapted their play style the way that Niantic had to adapt their game style. And I think it's going to be absolutely detrimental to the entire game. Which is a shame, because I have solidly been playing this game for about 7 years. I've been to Go Fests, I've been to Safari Zones. I've been to meetups outside of those. Met Zoe Two Dots, Mystic 7, Trainer Tips, JT Gilly, Pokemon Master Holly. Met them all at Dortmund. And it was just it. You don't realise what you got until it's gone, right? That was in 2019. That was arguably the height of the game for me. And essentially, what Niantic are doing right now is they are slowly but surely, as most corporations do, controlling people. They're making people play differently because it doesn't suit their mission. And ultimately, the irony of all of this, Niantic aren't going to watch this. Niantic aren't listening to anything that's going on outside of their vision. And I'm uploading this video to a huge corporation, which is Google, YouTube. If YouTube don't like this video, it will just get taken down. So, empire's always full, guys. That's the thing that I'm trying to sort of elaborate on here. The thing that I'm trying to hammer home is, as long as some people are playing Pokemon Go, this will get worse. And unfortunately, this change to raid passes, remote playing, and the whole game, really, in general, this will hurt the most elite players. People like Brandon Tan 91, people like Fleece King, thousands of other people like them that just play hard. The Trainer Club, sort of. He's probably like the most commercially available hardcore player. What this will do, though, is it will unfortunately cause a ripple effect, and it will create a have from the have-nots. So now, not only are you limited to 5 remote raids a day, you have to pay through the nose to be able to do them. So one thing, I'm just trying to break this down for people that potentially don't play the game anymore. One thing that has always been free, and I think it will remain free, is a free in-person raid pass. It's an orange raid pass. You get one a day. If you want more than one, you have to buy a premium raid pass, which is a green raid pass. So yeah, I don't think this is a good move from Niantic. I think they need to take accountability. They need to listen. Hashtag Heroes Niantic is constantly in my newsfeed now on Twitter, on my trending tab. And I don't think that they are. I don't think they care. And, you know, as long as people continue to play the game and continue to spend the money, why would they care? I'm kind of neutral on all of this, really. I'm not saying boycott them. I'm not saying stop playing the game. I read something recently, and it is just an article on the internet, so take it with a grain of salt, but apparently 350,000 people didn't play Togetic Community Day. So that's based on the last Community Day. 350,000 people didn't partake in that game, that part of the game, the event. So I think that speaks volumes, really, that, you know, if Niantic are continuing to make these decisions without being involved within the community, they're set to lose 500,000 players in 2 weeks. And that will just continue and continue and continue. But the one thing that I don't want this video to be, and the one thing that I don't want to see, is peer pressure to quit. I think Niantic are going through an extremely rough, rocky patch at the moment. And like I said earlier, it could be the death of the game. I will continue to play. I don't really raid that much. I was thinking about this the other day because I was doing an elite raid for Reggie Drago. I think I might have mentioned this previously. And that's part of something called an elite raid where you have to be in person. The problem with Niantic is they make these broad strokes and they make these hardline decisions but the game doesn't work. So elite raids have always been very, very buggy. I always feel bad for the people that live in Australia and New Zealand because they get the first iteration of an event, and if it's buggy as hell, then sorry. But on the alternative side to that, if you are a YouTuber like ProPlanty, Zoe Two Dots, and various other people from Australia, it could be one of the best things you've ever done in terms of content, because you're constantly ahead of everyone else in terms of timescales to upload YouTube videos. A lot of this has been already said as well from a podcast that I listen to quite a lot called Incensed. And I'm actually quite lucky to have Masterful on my friends list. So I send him gifts nearly every day. But yeah, I don't know. This feels like a significant downturn in what I think Niantic should be doing, but I am trying to stay neutral. They have recently pushed out a lot of really good updates, like the Vivillon butterfly thing. I love that. It keeps me coming back and opening my gifts and sending gifts and, oh no, I've only got 4 gifts. I need to get 20. I need to stock up again. I need to go out and spin some stops. But not everyone's like me, so I don't know. Everyone has a different play style as well, so this is an incredibly hard game to get right. Right? I don't know what the barometer for right is in this game, but it's certainly, in the current cost of living that we're dealing with, it certainly isn't right to triple or double the price of remote raid passes in order to decentivize people from playing that way. That is not a good way to promote people going out, especially if you are disabled or you have accessibility issues. You could argue, if you're looking on the devil's shoulder, that people with disability and accessibility issues, I don't know how they played the game before COVID, when remote raiding wasn't a thing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the uptake on that as a remote player, it probably increased the numbers of disabled and accessibility driven people. But I don't know. I'm just one person with an opinion. So to sum up, guys, right. So Niantic, if you are watching this, if anyone from Niantic, community managers, community engagement executives, anything like that, if you want to come on ABP and chat about all of these decisions, then reach out to me. My email address is in my About tab in YouTube, on YouTube channel. It's also, I'll just read it out now, it's absolutebedlampodcast@gmail.com. Please get in touch with me if you feel that you have something to contribute to this conversation, because I'm all ears. I don't play Pokemon Go every day, like all day. But it is a significant part of my lifestyle in terms of I have bought stuff with my own money in the past. I've bought poker coins, which is always a fun time when you check your bank statement and you're like, I spent 30 quid on Pokemon Go this month. But I'm not the most hardcore player, but I'm probably not the most casual player either. So yeah, I have very fond memories of Pokemon Go. And it would be a massive shame to drop off at this point because, we've had things recently like Kecleon's come out finally after like 4 years. We've got all the Reggies out now as well. One thing as well, just quickly, whilst I've got you all, Zora, whatever, the black cat, right? That would have been the best April Fool's Day ever, rather than Pidgeys everywhere, which wasn't even the case. There was barely any Pidgeys anywhere that I went. But every Pokemon could have been Zora for like 3 hours. That would have been funny. Or you spin Pokestops and you just get purple potions, or you know what I mean? It's stupid things like that. Or you just get Pokeballs constantly, just like invasion of Pokeballs and Pidgeys. But yeah, that's my thoughts. So to sum up, like I've just mentioned, Niantic are not doing well at the moment. And I think it's getting to the point where it's at the absolute top level of Niantic, where you've got people like John Hankey, who's the CEO. I think he needs to go outside and touch some grass, to quote Nevermind Polly podcast. He needs to realise that the people that are playing this game are funding the game. And you sometimes need to wake up and smell the roses and realise why you're doing this. Because it shouldn't just be about money. As I mentioned at the start, I don't think this is financially decided, but I don't know. I don't work for Niantic. But yeah, I'm curious to know what people think. So shout out Incense Podcast. I think it's Pogo Milo, Casual Coops, Masterful, and there's someone else. I can't remember their name. I'm so sorry. I'm not very good at this. Trainer Tips was recently on as well, talking about all of this sort of stuff. He's revered as one of the, most neutral Pokemon Go YouTubers you can get. Very, very calm, very, very soft-spoken individual. But he's fairly annoyed with everything that's going on at the moment. And I think, I've met Nick a couple of times, and he seems quite difficult to get annoyed. You know what I mean? He's got a very low tolerance of he's very calm, is basically what I'm trying to say. So Niantic need to straighten up and fly right for this game to continue to flourish like it has done for the last 6 years. I'll probably do another video on this in terms of what I can actually think of that's tangible to improve the game. There was one suggestion from the trainer club, Billy, who's actually been on AVP, I've just remembered. It was audio only, that one, because the hotel room that he was in was not good for video. He mentioned optimization and how Niantic should go to hardcore players in terms of getting actual optimization out of the current game. And one thing he did mention, which I thought was a fantastic idea, is already be able to pick the berries that you're about to use at Community Day. So if you want pineapple berries, you just select pineapple berries, and that's your default berry going forwards for the next 3 hours. Or nabab berries, or pineapple berries, or whatever you want, you know what I mean? But to have to constantly open it up, scroll across, you know what I mean? Just, you're wasting time, especially as Community Days have now gone from 6 hours to 3 hours. You're wasting time. Every single time you want to catch a Pokemon, you're waiting for about 12 seconds. There's also the fast catch feature and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm curious to know what you think. Comment below. If you are new, drop a subscribe. I will be doing Pokemon Go related content on this channel as well as the Absolute Bedlam stuff. But yeah, I'm really curious to know what you guys think. And I'm just an open book. I'm up for a discussion. Niantic, if you are watching this, then please get in contact with me and we can hopefully thrash this out together and actually get this sorted. But for now, guys, keep it bedlam and see you later. Check out this for views as well. It's a kitten. Bye.